All right, guys, it's that time of the week again. It's time for Jackos countdown. This is week. Week is this? I think we're on week 9 here. Yeah, we're on week 9. Um, Usually get these in on a Wednesday, but it's a Thursday. It's a little late. I got excited earlier in the week with my other video. I had a Tuesday matchup preview. Waited a day, let the waters calm. Came back Thursday about 5:45 here up in Boone. We got us another strong edition of Jackos Countdown. Got Shawan on, had to suit up. It's for the countdown. Last week, I made some picks, made some predictions around the league, and I finished out four wins for my right picks versus 2 losses, so that's pretty good. I picked Brooks to beat Jamie. That didn't happen. I beat LG to beat Neil, I believe, and that didn't happen. Neil sneaked that one out. So, I think I did pretty good there. We're going to move on to this week. Couple of big matchups. Probably story of the week thus far is the buys. Buys are hurting a lot of people. Some remain a little bit unscathed, but most everybody's getting hurt pretty bad. For instance, I got 6 guys on bye. I'm playing Brooks. He's only got 1 as his kicker, so he has his first team in. His team looks pretty about the same as it does all year, but I had to make some changes around, and that's obviously hurt my scoring projections. Let's get right down to it. I'll start off with me and Brooks' matchup. Not going to get too big into it. I released my video on Tuesday breaking it down a little bit more, but I feel pretty good. I had to sub guys in like Sproles, Tavon Austin. I had to pick up Duke Johnson off of waivers. That just went through this morning, so he's playing right now. Still need to get a Cardinals substitute for defense. I will get that taken care of. And once I get these guys in, like I said in the other video, we'll be looking at about 85 apiece. We'll see how that goes. But I feel confident. I feel like my players that I have that aren't on bye are really good. Marcus Mariota's played great for me. Forte's played great. Sanders, Delaney. I got Tucker back, I kick in. So I'm not feeling too bad. Brooks has got a strong squad. I need to keep some of his guys from scoring too much, but I project a victory for myself as per usual. We'll move on to next matchup will be Jamie versus Stu. This is a gritty matchup. These guys probably don't like each other too much. They're not playing as well as they'd hope, both at 3 and 5. Jamie's on a little bit of an uptick. He's on a 2-win streak right now. Stu's on a 2-losing streak, which is not where he wants to be, but he's got to feel okay. He's got Brady and Gronk on buys, which really hurts, but he's got Dak Prescott backing up Brady, so he'll sub him in. He's got he's got Matt Jones is also on bye, but Jamie, the story of this matchup is Jamie is crushed by buys, which I think will really keep him from taking advantage of a Brady and Gronkless Stu. He's got tons of guys out: DeAndre, Langford, Kirk Cousins, his standby, John Brown, Gio. Jamison Crowder stepped up a lot, ranked 13th in the league right now, right at about 10 points. So, he's had to make some moves. He's got Dez back. He'll plug in Henry and Powell, running backs. You don't want to have to rely on these guys because they split carries, but they have both shown what they can do. They're both talented. And playing San Diego and Miami, maybe they can get something going. He's starting Tannehill this week in lieu of Kirk Cousins. Tannehill's I think he got him off the waiver wire, maybe. If not, he's a borderline waiver wire guy. But coming up against the Jets, it's going to be hard to say whether Tannehill can take advantage of that matchup. They got a good D. They're a shaky team, New York, but it's gonna be a chess match out there. So we'll see. Jay Ajayi coming in as well. It'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. Stu's got most of the checks here. I probably have to agree with that. Nothing against Jamie too much. It's just that a lot of holes. He had to fill them in with guys that are not that great. Stu's going to pull this one away. Guys with Latavius Murray. He's got Montgomery back this week. He's glad to have him after missing him last week. Kelvy's back, hoping that Cam can throw him some catches. Allen Robinson, Kyle Rudolph. There's just too much firepower on Stu's team for him to lose this week. I'm picking Stu in this matchup versus Jamie. It'll be interesting to see how this pans out. But I think Stu's going to pull away with the victory, so I got Stu in this one. We're just going to move right along. Next is Peely Gray, having a sad year so far. He's on a 6 losing streak. He started out 2-0. It's a shame. Say it every week. Lee Gray has a decent little team. There's a lot of talent on his team that other people would love to have on their team. But he's just ran into problems. Lee Gray couldn't get enough points last week, even with Neil missing some players starting to take advantage of it. You know, that sums up Lee Gray's season. It's a shame. He'll come in. He's trying to come in this week, a new man, but versus the team that is Leroy Zabransky, Lee Gray is going to be shifted into another realm of reality. And I don't see Branscombe losing here. I think Branscombe continues to roll. He's a really good team. He's 6-2. He's leading the pack in the Youngins division. Young Pros division, which is strong. Look at this lineup. I mean, you got Murray, you got Melvin Gordon, you got OBJ, and you got Amari Cooper. And then he's got Devontae Booker at the flex spot. These guys look all to break out. They got pretty good matchups, all of them. He's starting Derek Carr, who's playing great so far, especially he can link him up with Amari Cooper. He got that Cowboys D on bye. I was trying to get the Cowboys D versus a weak Cleveland team. Couldn't do it. I already got Duke Johnson off the waiver wire, so he fell. Branscome's got a great team. High-ranking guys. Lee Gray needs to sub in somebody for Larry Fitzgerald. It doesn't matter who he gets. You know, he could put in Michael Irvin. He could put in Jerry Rice, but he's not going to beat staunch reality this week. I give the nod to Zabransky. I think he continues to roll and lead that division. He'll be 7-2 and looking very strong. Next up we got what do we got? Hold on, let's see here. We got Mark versus Scott Curley. Curly Man's Girly Man. This is looking to be kind of a weak matchup so far. Both guys still need to get some people in. Mark, he's lost LeGarrette Blount. He's lost Alshon Jeffrey to buys this week. Those are big players for him. Mark has really fallen off. He started off strong. His scoring has dropped off significantly. He's in the bottom third, I believe. I'm looking at it correctly. He's in the bottom third in scoring. He's taken a dip. He's on a 2-game losing streak. Is he? No, he's on a 3-game losing streak. Continues to disappoint. He does not look like he's going to score a ton of points this week. But Mark's projected at 52.7. I understand he has to plug in players for Alshon, LeGarrette, and Will Fuller. But, he can't feel good coming in right now, looking at who he's starting. I project Curly Man is going to come away with this victory. Drew Brees looking to play big versus San Fran. Expect big things out of Todd Gurley, even though they're playing Carolina. We've looked a bit porous this year, just to say the least. He's got other players. He's got Cooks. He's got Wallace. He'll need to sub in a defense for the Bears. Curly will. That'll be easy. But I look for Curly to cruise. I look for Curly to go to 6-3. Really put the pressure on Butch to. I think him and Butch are tied for the division. Put some pressure on Butch. But Mark's not going to pull this one out. I'm going Curly all the way on that one. Up next, we got Certified Flex Zone, Mr. Daniel Blatt versus Winter is Coming, Butch Branscombe, Scottish Claymores. This looks to be a pretty high score. Daniel is looking a little underwhelming. Right now, Carlos Hyde is projected for being out. Daniel got bit by the bye bug this week. Butch remained relatively unscathed, like Curly, like Brooks. Butch is coming in here fully loaded with talent. Jordy Nelson, Mike Evans, Ezekiel Elliott, Jameis Winston. Those are the backbone of his team. Travis Kelce, I own him in another league. He's not getting any love from ESPN, and I really don't know why. The guy's ranked 8th right now. Alex Smith doesn't love to throw the rock a lot, but when he does, Kelsey is his guy. We've seen Jeremy Maclin fall off a bit, which is unfortunate. He's a talented guy, but that's just not how they play ball over there. That's not how Andy Reid draws them up. So, but I like Travis Kelsey. I like Butch here. You know, it's hard to go against those guys I mentioned at the beginning. Those four: Mike Evans, Jordy, Zeke, Jameis. Daniel's looking underwhelming. He's starting Colin Kaepernick for Pete's sake. Carlos Hyde probably won't play. Nobody besides Kaepernick is projected for over 10. Could get something out of Brandon Marshall. He needs Olsen to play big. He's double flexing tight ends. Allen Hurns he can. We know how Allen Hurns can play, but can Bortles do anything against that Kansas City defense? I wouldn't bet on it. It's not that they won't. I wouldn't bet on it. Right now, the line's about 25. Vegas says 25. Butch is going to roll here, and him and Curly is actually a great storyline. They both have really good teams, and they're battling for position. They have the same record right now. I'm projecting them both to win this week. So they'll go in 6-3, and it's going to be. I wouldn't want to play either of those teams in any week, but it's going to be great to see how that shakes out. Both are probably going to make the playoffs, and just two more strong teams coming out. I believe. I think they were 3 and 4 in the power rankings consistently for a little while now. I fully expect them to be in the same place when the power rankings come out this week if I can get them from Stu. I'm sure he's compiling. But yeah, I mean, I pick that's going to be Butch right there. So I'm going to move right along here to Nicholas. This is the last matchup. Nicholas versus Nelson. No QB for Old Witten versus Shepherds. This will probably be a hotly contested matchup. Just looking at the line, it's not too far off, just about 10. Neither hurt too bad from buys. Nick has only one buy, but that buy is Lamar Miller, who he obviously would start. He had to plug in Hightower for him, Tim Hightower. Probably not who you want to have to throw in there, but I mean, he's fine. He's serviceable. Anything can happen in New Orleans. They like to move the rock around. So it's kind of like, it could happen. I don't believe it will, but it could. He's got Andrew Luck, Devontae Freeman. Those are great players. He really wishes he had Lamar Miller this week. He's glad to have Dante Moncrief back. He's been out with an injury bug. But with Andrew Luck starting for him and he has Moncrief, you got to like that versus Green Bay D, who's not, their secondary is not great from what we've seen. So that'll be an interesting little game to look at. Meanwhile, Neil comes back strong. Last week, Neil had Le'Veon and Jay Ajayi on the bench. They were on buys, and he still beat Lee Gray. They're both going to come back strong. I fully project them to average about. They're going to get about 30 points between the two of them, maybe more. Especially if some of these guys, if they can bust out big play. These are big play guys. We've seen that all through Le'Veon Bell's career, and we've seen that all through this season with Jay. So that'll be interesting. He's got Rodgers versus Indiana D. They are not good. Indiana D. So Rodgers going to feast there. Terrell Pryor, interesting player. Love to have him on my team. Doug Baldwin, he catches the ball a lot. He's athletic. Witten, the vet. Willie Snead. He's got the Lions D playing against the Minnesota offense, especially offensive line that is very poor. And he's got Vinatieri, who's the best in the league. So this is it's going to be close. I'm actually surprised how close it's they have it right now, ESPN, but looking on paper, I like Neil's team much more than Nick's. It's unfortunate. Nick has had kind of a Lee Gray season. He's 1-7. He's on a 7-game losing streak. It's going to be very hard for Nick to make the playoffs right now. I don't believe he will. He can play spoiler. I know he'd love to beat some of the guys, especially in his division, and maybe ruin their day later down the line in the season. But he's regrouping. But it's not going to be enough. Neil's going to win here. Neil's 4-4. He's kind of at the fork in the road. What are you going to? Is your team going to stand up? Are they going to lay down? It's hard to say. So he'll figure that out more this weekend playing a Nick team. Neil's going to win this game. I think he'll score probably about 108. They have him at 97.7. I think that's not too bad, but I think that he can score more. It's somewhat conservative estimates on some of his guys. He's looking to break out. So here I got him. Going down the line, we got Butch we got Neil, we got Curly, we got me, we got Bransky, and that last one, Stu versus Jamie, we got Stu. So, yeah, I went over that one. Yeah, so those are the 6. We'll see how those picks pan out. Great to have you guys here on another episode of Jackos Countdown. Sorry it's a little bit later in the week. I don't have all the towels. I don't have any growl towels. I don't have any Steelers gloves this week. We're just going straight old school Chawan. Stay humble. By the way, on an end note, go Cubs. Just go Cubs. I'm sorry, Curly. Whoever you were cheering for last night, I know that most people probably watched, but it was a heck of a game. That's about as good of a game as you're going to see. Game 7, going into extras. It was great to watch. Some people may be disappointed with how it turned out if they're cheering for Cleveland, but either way, you can appreciate it's a great story. Go Cubbies. I was jacked when they won. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun. So, congratulations to the Cubs. Y'all heard the picks. Come back next week. Look into the crystal ball. This is Jacko's Countdown signing out for this week. See ya, fellas.